Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely delighted to announce that the New City Summit in 2014 will take place in the great city of Dallas, Texas. You should know, Mayor Rawlings, that there was very considerable competition and interest from global cities who all wanted to host next year's edition, I'm happy to say. But the foundation felt that really there was no better place in the world than Dallas for the summit next year. You know, as you said, Mr. Mayor, when we traveled to Dallas, we were flabbergasted. It's an amazing city. Dallas-Fort Worth area is, of course, the fastest growing large metropolitan area in the United States, and you feel it when you go there. You feel the economic vibrancy. It's an amazingly dynamic city. It's a city that's completely turned towards the future, and as the New Cities Foundation is concerned above all with the future of cities, that interested us, and that kind of made the case. It's full of innovation. It's Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, of course, is one of the world's busiest. It's one of the world's great transportation hubs. But Dallas is not only dollars and cents. There's also a generosity and an openness of spirit in the city that is absolutely astounding, and I think have truly impressed all of us at the foundation. In addition, and I think it's a very important point, which you raised in this last panel, and that is the Dallas commitment to culture and the arts. It's incredibly strong. The Dallas Arts District is an amazing example of how a city can promote cultural life, how it should promote cultural life. It's a reminder of how culture is a vital part of the mix if you want to attract and retain world-class talent. And this is what Dallas is doing, clearly. So the New Cities Foundation is extremely proud to be going to Dallas next year. And thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, John. And I just want to say how pleased we are to host this fine summit next year. Congratulations to you and your Board of Trustees for building an important catalyst for us to learn things that we don't even know we don't know. You know, as we grow these cities, we're kind of doing it the first time, and to be able to get together with other mayors and other business leaders to do this, it's a great format, and we are so proud to be part of it. As I just discussed in our session on play, we've made a lot of strides in the last 20 years. We have intentionally invested in a healthy urban ecosystem that has not only commerce, but healthcare, has transportation, and yes, culture and recreation as well. Part of that, as you mentioned, is the Dallas Arts District, largest in the United States, 73 acres, 19 square blocks, 5 Pritzker Prize architects, multiple visual arts, performing arts venues combined to offer 11,000 seats of doing art. That's exciting. Over $1 billion have been spent in this. With our sister city in Fort Worth, it has 3 of the most important museum of arts in the United States. We're so proud of North Texas and what we're saying to the arts. As we started to look at this and learn about what attracted you to us, and this arts district was a fascinating part of it, we started to learn, and a lot of people don't know this, that there'll be over $250 billion invested in cultural districts worldwide in the coming decades. So we're at the front end of a major investment on this globe in regards to cultural arts. And for that reason, we decided to go a step further. Not only host the New City Summit, but we wanted to create a lasting organization that fostered the growth of these arts districts. For that reason, we are announcing today the creation of the Global Cultural District Network. It's being established to create a platform for information and resource sharing in best practices, consortium and partnership building among cultural districts across the globe. There will be over 100 of these throughout the world. I think it's an important point in history as we think forward. Because if you look at what's happened in our globe and why this world is a closer place, yes, it is because of business. But in the last quarter of the century, of the 20th century, sport brought the world together through the Olympics, through the World Cup, through international competitions. We remember when Nixon brought the table tennis to China, and that was what started bringing the world together. But as you look forward, we think arts and culture is going to be the new glue that binds this world together. And that's why this Global Cultural Districts Network is extremely important. We have invested our money and our time, but we've got a lot of growth to go, and we want to learn from others. Hopefully they can learn from us. Now, next year when you come, we're going to be talking about the Global Cultural Districts Network and learn from that and roll out some best practices. But we will roll out our red carpet, make sure it's hospitable. But it's also going to be easy. You're going to be flying into DFW, and it's the 4th busiest airport in the world, and it's going to be easy to kind of nonstop from a lot of places throughout this globe. And you'll find wonderful hospitality, restaurants, and hotels. To do this effectively, though, I needed a leader, and I chose Maxwell Anderson. He is the chair of the Dallas Arts District. He will be the co-chair of the Global Cultural District Network. He is the museum director for our Dallas Museum of Fine Arts. He's worked at the Whitney Museum in New York City, where he's 26 years of museum director of 5 different organizations, internationally respected because of his historical knowledge and his progressive progress. I just bragged on how we opened up the museum to the public for free. That was his idea and his doing. He's a PhD in art history from Harvard, and he's a former curator in the Metropolitan Museum. So one of the beliefs we had in building an arts district is we had to attract the best and the brightest. We're proud of having Maestro Yap as our symphony conductor, but we're equally proud to have a great director in Max Anderson. He's going to flesh out the rest of this idea. Max.
Thank you so much, Mayor Rawlings. So grateful for your leadership and vision, and I think all of us can be grateful to John for having the sense with his board to bring the New City Summit to Dallas next year, to a city that is led by a man who is enlightened, forward-thinking in so many respects, both in terms of the economic development of our city, but also, as he's just said, our cultural offer and the ways in which we can be a progressive force. I'm especially grateful also to the executive director of our newly announced Global Cultural Districts Network, Adrian Ellis, who will be available to you after this formal pronouncement. And Adrian is among the greatest thinkers in the world about the impact of culture on cities, the forms of economic development that they offer, the ways that they work mechanically, artistically, programmatically, and we're all very fortunate to work in partnership with John Rossant as co-chair of the network with me, and Adrian as our colleague and executive director. Also with us today from Dallas are Anne Bergeron, who's Associate Director of the Dallas Museum of Art, and Catherine Cuellar, who is the Executive Director of the Dallas Arts District. And both of these women will be essential as we gear up for an exciting time a year from now. When we meet in Dallas in 2014, we hope to have a broad agenda ready to share with you and with all those invested, as Mayor Rawlings pointed to, in the creation of cultural districts worldwide. We're going to be looking at the development of strategic alliances and partnerships to share content across these districts and look for a successful mix among the creative industries, among educational and cultural institutions. We'll be looking, of course, at museums and theaters and orchestras and opera companies, but we want to make sure that we're focused not only on presentation, but also in making art and thinking about ways to integrate artists into the life of these built environments, and thinking about the scalability of larger and smaller entities working in partnership. We want to think about strategies for growing and retaining audiences and visitors going forward. And we want to think about education and engagement programs that'll promote relationships among the cultural districts and the wider communities that they serve. Part of our goal is to foster among all of our peer institutions internationally the recruitment and training of qualified staff across a range of operational skills, ranging from the curatorial training of those in museums to production skills, customer service, fundraising, and a host of other areas of specialization. We're also going to be very much attentive to the integration of intelligent technologies into all aspects of production and consumption within these districts. And we want to think about how the provision of services for member districts, including the regular provision of convenings, research, virtual forums, can foster the strategic partnerships and festivals that we see as essential to the success of the network. With us today is an esteemed colleague who is leading among the most significant of these cultural districts around the world, Michael Lynch. And Michael's Chief Executive Officer of the West Kowloon Cultural District Authority in Hong Kong. He's a veteran of overseeing projects of scale. His new project in Hong Kong is estimated to be in the $4.5 billion investment range, and it will create for the Asian Pacific region an extraordinary opportunity, much as we've sought to do in North America and we're starting to see around the globe. And I would be grateful if we could welcome to the podium for a few words of his observations about the value of a network, Michael Lynch.
Thank you, Max, Mike, and John. It's been a wonderful couple of days here to be able to share the New Cities Foundation conference here in Sao Paulo. But I guess from my point of view, it's particularly exciting to be looking at being able to go to Dallas, where I've never been, but there are so many things that I'm anxious to see, particularly the fact that as I embark on the project that is West Kowloon in Hong Kong, I look at Dallas and think, wow, I'm so envious that 20 years down the track, they have just about completed their cultural district, and I think I may have another 20 years of hard work ahead of me, or certainly for my team, as we look at building West Kowloon. I also think it's a great opportunity to look at the issues that new cities are founding. Both Dallas and Hong Kong have extraordinary histories. They both started around 1840, 1841, and that we also, at a more content-driven level, share the conductor of our two famous symphonies, Jaap van Zweden, and that, I think, potentially creates some interesting connections for us going forward. But I also think the one thing that cultural districts around the world, all grappling with the notions of how they pay for it, how they fund those activities, I think there's a message that has always come out of Dallas, the capacity of the community of Dallas to support cultural institutions, to build cultural institutions, and to create a legacy that is probably unprecedented other than in one or two other great cities of the world. So I'm very happy to be involved, to be able to look forward to my first visit to Dallas next year, and I look forward to both a very successful New Cities conference next year, but also the establishment of the Global Cities Cultural Network. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Michael. We're happy to take a few questions if there are any. Don't feel shy.
And don't feel obliged.
And don't feel obliged. I think they're caipirinhas waiting
Oh,
us.
yeah,
perhaps.
I should have put the website up.
Oh, yeah. Do we have that?
Yeah.
Hello? Voila.
GCDN.net, John.
GCDN.net. And the Twitter... GCDNet, hashtag GCDNet. So it's all out there waiting for you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Michael.